Hi, I'm It's Fit Maddie Wilson. Welcome back to my channel. As most of you know, I have a past with bulimia, a past with binge eating, a past with anorexia, and the holidays have really always sucked for me. I'm gonna be honest, but through recovery and through putting myself through treatment, I've learned a lot of stuff, and I want to share what I have learned on how not to binge eat during Thanksgiving. And I also have a little special guest, but not really a special guest because she's not here. I did a video with a health professional, and I will leave a card right up here, and I asked her what her tips were for not binge eating during the holidays and not binge eating in general. And so I'll be sharing all of her responses and replies to that question later on in the video. So we got a lot of information to go over. Let's get started. And the first tip is do not skip meals before Thanksgiving dinner. I used to put so much pressure on myself to not eat anything because I was gonna have a really big meal, and that's just not okay. If you think of Thanksgiving as just another meal, then it is less pressure on yourself. And so my number one tip, don't skip your breakfast or your lunch. Whenever your family has Thanksgiving, make sure you are eating throughout the day so you don't put yourself in that situation to want to binge. The second tip goes along with the first one, is make sure that you have a well-balanced meal before Thanksgiving. Third little one, these are really basic, but I have some deeper ones later on, so just keep on watching, is making sure that you chew during your Thanksgiving meal. And I know it's so, at least for me, it was so stressful eating around people because when I would binge, I wouldn't focus on anything other than just getting food in my mouth. And so making sure you're chewing, don't sit there and be like, I have to chew 100 times, but really be conscious of chewing and making sure that you are taking a break from that moment and not just staring at your food the whole time. Just, enjoy time with your family and loved ones and chew your food. And my next tip is do not try to count calories on Thanksgiving. I know how hard it is in all my different stages of eating disorders. Like, I would count calories like crazy, and especially when your grandma and your aunt and all these different people are bringing food, you have no idea what's in them, and that causes so much stress. So avoid calorie counting on Thanksgiving. My next one is listening to your body, and I know you don't want to hear it, but with this is making sure you are not just sitting there like mindlessly eating before the meal. I don't know about your family, but my family would have appetizers out, and I would just sit there and just eat all the appetizers, and then the meal, it's time for the actual Thanksgiving meal, and I would fill up my plate and not really listen to my body because I was looking at other people's plates and saying like, oh, they got a lot of turkey, they got a lot of mashed potatoes, like I'm gonna do all of this. But really listening to your body and using portion control, but also not being hard on yourself. It's all about intuitive eating. My next tip is using a smaller plate, and some people might say that that is triggering to them. This is just something that has worked for me. I am not a doctor. This is just stuff that has worked for me. We'll get to the health professional in a little bit, but using a smaller plate has really helped me not fill up my plate as much, meaning that that's actually scientifically proven. I will try to link a study down below, but if you're using a smaller plate and you fill it up, you feel more satisfied than if you have a larger plate and you're just putting a little portion here, 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 and here. So use a smaller plate and don't worry about judgment with your family. And I have gone through so much judgment in my family, and I've realized that I have to do what's best for me, and what's best for me is eating off of a smaller plate. And my last tip, and before we move on to Emma's tips, I'm gonna read you this quote. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So plan to succeed. And a lot of this has to do with mindset and also little actions throughout the day. So like I said, making sure you're eating your breakfast, making sure that you have enough protein in the morning, making sure that you have maybe talked to a family member. That's another tip. If you're comfortable enough with your family to say, hey, I'm struggling today, I just want to let you know, and just say that out loud. It's going to help so much. I know it takes a lot of effort and a lot of time, but maybe your significant other is there, maybe your sister or someone that you can talk to and just say like, hey, I'm struggling this year and I'm really gonna try to make sure I don't binge. I would just appreciate it if you could just, be there for me today. Just making sure that you have everything available for you to succeed. So what's your plan gonna be? I suggest taking some notes and just getting yourself mentally prepared for this meal. And it's, as a reminder, it is literally just a meal, and don't put so much pressure on yourself. I understand how freaking difficult it is. How many holidays I just sit there and I stare at my food and I want to cry because I just want to leave and go binge eat somewhere else. So again, making sure that you have talked to someone, and if you haven't, like text a friend. If you don't have anyone in your family that you can talk to, text someone and be like, hey, can you check in on me? Can you make sure that, we're on the same page today? Can we just talk? Text me if you can, that sort of thing. So those are some of my tips. I want to read off Emma's. Let me scooch over. So Emma, like I said, I've done a video with her before. I'll leave it up there. I think I already said that, but I will leave it in the description as well. And she is just an amazing person. She actually works in an eating disorder recovery facility place, and she is just so smart with nutrition, and I love this woman. It was just so nice of her to be a part of this video. So I'm gonna have her Instagram over here and then some screenshots of our text conversation. But her first tip is there are no rules. This doesn't mean go nuts and eat as much as you want. Know that you can eat what you want. You can portion what you want. It can be really hard to know what foods to eat and how much to eat. Do your best to listen to your body and trust your hunger and full signals. If you're planning on doing something like the turkey trot the next morning, make sure you're fueling your body accordingly, enough in the way that it makes you feel good. This tip. Yes. Okay, so the next one from Emma is make a plan. If you have a history with disordered eating and eating disorders, it is best to set clear intentions and be in tune with your recovery goals in order to prevent the feeling to participate in behaviors and to keep your recovery-minded headspace. Even if an eating disorder is not something you've experienced, Thanksgiving can still be an overwhelming day. Going in with the plan in place to protect yourself can help keep one calm. Yes, plans. And I love the fact that she talked about recovery mindset, and recovery mindset is so different than eating disorder mindset, and really tuning into that 100%. So we just have two more from Emma, and that next one is avoid negative food talk, which I hear this with my family. I hear this with everyone I've ever been in contact with, like, ooh, I can't have this, like, ooh, I can't have this, or I'm gonna treat myself today, or blah, like so much negative food talk. Okay, let's get into it. It is so common for us to complain about how much we ate, how much we need to go walk off our meal, how too much food can make us sick. Remember that Thanksgiving is about sharing a meal with people we care about, so stay away from the negative comments and the negative thought patterns. Yes, but this is so much easier said than done. I hope this is a reminder for you and for myself not to put like feelings towards food, and don't express like she said, I need to go walk this off, because I hear that every single year, or I shouldn't have done this, or my diet starts tomorrow. Like, let's just not even talk about it. So I hope you can challenge yourself to do that this year. And our last one from Emma is focus on gratitude. Remind yourself that the holidays are about surrounding yourself with those you love. Try to focus on the people around you and building relationships instead of worrying about the food. I have wasted so many, my table's moving. I wasted so many holidays just focusing on food and not connecting with people I only see once a year. And I challenge you to really think about that this year. Like, be present with the people you love, not present with, obviously be present with your food. It is more about your family than food, and I hope that you learned something in this video, and I hope you have an amazing, beautiful Thanksgiving, and I hope recovery is on your mind, and I hope that you are not hard on yourself, and I hope that you can do it for you. And I really appreciate you watching this video. I know how freaking hard the holidays are. I know how hard it is not to binge eat, but just take some of these tools, try them out. They may sound silly to you. When I was deep in my eating disorder, I would hear stuff kind of like this and I'd be like, that's not possible. But it's all about your mindset, and if you set up for success, you will succeed. And I have so much faith in you, and I love you guys, and I'm so thankful, so thankful for you being a part of my YouTube channel. And if you made it to the end of the video, please leave a turkey emoji in the comments. I want to see how many people made it to the end, and I will be replying to every single person, every single one that leaves a turkey emoji on this video. So thank you again. I love what I do, and I love being a part of your weekly activities. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure to do so. Like this video if you want more eating disorder talks, if you want more tips with that, just let me know, and I'll see you next week at 3 o'clock. Bye.